grandfathers and fountain pens. Here you can see two Mont Blanc fountain pens. These are Meisterstück 144 pens. One is from my grandfather of my father's side, the other from my grandfather of my mother's side. When I was 12 years old, my grandfather on my mother's side who retired, and he gave me this pen. I was quite happy to own such a nice pen. With 12 years it was a real privilege. But this pen had a very fine nib, and even at this age, I never liked pens with very fine nibs. When I started writing, I could try out old fountain pens of my grandfather, and as soon as I was writing with a broad nib, my handwriting looked so much better. So I really liked broad nibs. This pen had a fine nib, so I had to have it changed. This was a little bit easier in Hamburg than in another town. These fountain pens were made in these days more or less in the center of the city. Nowadays they are still made in Hamburg, but the Mont Blanc factory moved to the outskirts of the town. But in these days you could take the metro, the subway, and I went to the Mont Blanc factory. By the way, I made a video on this old factory. Nowadays it houses a school, and I filmed all the old Mont Blanc factory buildings. It were 3 buildings in this area, and I went there. At the reception I told them my problems with this pen. This pen went to the workshop. They changed the nib to this broad nib, which I still have to this day. And I could wait until they had changed the nib. They kept the old fine nib, put a broad nib onto this pen, and when I thought I had to pay something, the woman at the reception said everything is inside the service for a Mont Blanc Meisterstück, for the Mont Blanc masterpiece. So I was quite happy, and I used this pen. This pen has eaten a lot of kilometers. I don't know how many times it got filled, how many times this pen has been opened. I used it for all my school days, for my studies, and I used this pen for years daily. And if you look at this pen, with the exception of this discoloration, which is typical for celluloid, it's more or less like new. We will see this pen in another video, or 1 or 2 videos, I don't know. I will make one video of the details, so you can see exactly how a Mont Blanc pen made of celluloid looks like, and I will do some writing examples with this broad Mont Blanc nib. Everybody knows, this is the other pen here, somebody dies and everything from drawers goes into shoe boxes, and there it stays for years. The same happened with this pen. It went into a shoebox, stayed there for years, and I, by casualty, came across one of these shoe boxes, and inside of these shoe boxes I found other writing instruments of my grandfather, but also this Mont Blanc pen 144 Meisterstück. This is a traditional model. Mont Blanc made this only for a very short period. This pen had a left oblique nib. I never liked left oblique nibs, so I changed it to a calligraphy straight nib, a very sharp nib. You will see this in the videos and on the details and the writing examples I will make. Okay, as you can see, I dedicate this to my grandfather. It's really nice if a grandfather hands down a fountain pen to his grandchild if he is still alive.